Yes, indeed, Aldrin. I am going to speak to the Minister of International Relations, Minister Naledi Pandor, but I think the visit is quite important for South Africa. You know that the relationship between SWAPO and the ANC dates back to struggle years. You know that Namibia is part of the frontline states, and also currently you know that Namibia has embarked on a project to ensure that they comply with issues related to climate change and the hydrogen power plant in Namibia. South Africa is doing the same in the Northern Cape, and also issues that are related to justice. Earlier on, I spoke to the Minister of Justice from Namibia, who indicated that it is important for South Africa and Namibia to strengthen relations. But let me speak to the Minister. There's a lot to talk about, and also issues that are related to Sudan. We can't leave that out. Good morning, Minister. Quite an important visit. What's on the agenda?
Well, essentially, this is a state visit by President Geingob, the first, and we're really thrilled that he's here. We will be discussing matters of trade. There has been an attempt by Namibia, which is, absolutely correct in terms of their national interests, to expand their agricultural produce and to, in a sense, be able to be food secure as Namibia. And so they've reduced the proportion of agricultural products that we are able to export into Namibia. This is one of the issues we want to discuss. I know Botswana has taken a similar step, and you don't always have a full supply. So we want to look at how we can have an arrangement that will ensure that you don't have shortages and that both countries are trading on an even basis. So matters of trade, very, very important. The two countries are committed to implementation of the African Free Trade Area, and so I'm sure our leaders will discuss what they do to enhance momentum in that area. Then we are solid partners in terms of international solidarity. Africa will be chairing the non-aligned movement from April next year. And from late this year rather, and we're very excited that Uganda will be chairing. So we'll be looking at how we strengthen the role of NAM in global affairs, and also our own support for the just cause of the people of Palestine, as well as the cause of the people of Western Sahara. So we'll discuss global matters, we will discuss local and continental, and President Geingob finally is chair of the SADC organ. So the ongoing issues of conflict on the continent and the disruptions we're seeing in Eswatini, the need to really work closely with the Kingdom of Lesotho to ensure that the outcomes of the facilitation are actually given concrete effect, and then looking at DRC and what role SADC might play there, and the ongoing mission in Mozambique. All of these would form key subject areas for the deliberations.
Minister, yesterday you spoke about the issue of energy, saying that South Africa is supplying energy to neighboring countries, and Namibia is one of those countries, but they have also embarked on the hydrogen power project. We are also looking at that. The president quite passionate about that.
Indeed, the issue of green hydrogen and the hydrogen economy is a big opportunity for South Africa. We have a number of innovation centers, and we even have a HISA, which is Hydrogen South Africa, that government works very closely with, and which has become a hub for the development of hydrogen fuel cells. So I think in the hydrogen economy space, there's real opportunity for collaboration. Yesterday I promised the minister in the presidency of Namibia that I would be speaking to Minister Nzimande, who's responsible in this area, to ask whether it is possible to have some of the Namibian postgraduate students study at some of the key excellence centers we have in South Africa on hydrogen.
Minister, the issue of Sudan, you spoke about the two leaders will engage on global matters, regional and continental issues. The burning issue on the continent right now, it's Sudan. There was a call for cessation of hostilities, and the two parties agreed to cease fire, but they violated the ceasefire. What's the latest from Khartoum?
Well, from reports we're getting, the situation is increasingly dire. People can't get out of their houses. They're very frightened. And, the shooting carries on. There's even bombardment from the air by the Sudanese army. So this is a worrying situation. We have been speaking to our embassy staff, and I now really think we must, in a very focused way, look at whether we need to really move on the evacuation issue. The situation is very, very dire. I'm sure the presidents will discuss it. But I'm not aware of any Namibian citizens being in Sudan. Zimbabwe has called already, saying they do have people there, and if we have an evacuation plan, could we include citizens from their country?
Thank you for your time, Minister. Thank you so much, Minister. Minister of International Relations, Dr. Naledi Pandor, talking to us about this state visit and other issues of interest. Yesterday, I spoke to her about Russia, Russia. And she pointed out that Cabinet is still looking into the question of that warrant of arrest against President Vladimir Putin, which is likely going to affect the preparations for the BRICS summit, but making it clear that you don't have BRICS if you exclude Russia. But secondly, earlier on, Aldrin, I spoke to the Minister of Justice, Minister Lamola. The interview is available. I'm sure you will play that interview. Quite strong on issues that are related to the Guptas, the issue of Besta and the correctional facility, and also the G4S company that is running and managing the prison where Besta escaped, or the facilities where Besta escaped. And also he spoke about the issue of Palapala. You know very well that with President Hage Geingob in the country, and previously there were issues around the citizens of Namibia being involved on that crime that was committed at Palapala, and allegations in terms of the role played by the head of state of Namibia. We are hoping we'll be able to get some answers during the press conference, but I think the minister has summed up clearly the importance of this visit, and I think the issue of the hydrogen economy is quite important for South Africa at this critical time where we are struggling with energy supply.